Hi, this is Akmir with the weekly cryptocurrencies review. It is Monday, the 13th of June, and not a pretty picture in the cryptos, or perhaps in most places in the financial markets. The stock indices also falling quite rapidly at the moment. In terms of Bitcoin, we had that line of support there from the summer, and that was running around the 27,500 level. We broke that basically over the weekend, and below that, the risk of a fall to the floor of that falling trend channel from back in March, as low as 19,500. The RSI currently now in oversold territory, but that doesn't necessarily stop a straight move to the downside. So we do have that risk now of around $5,000 for Bitcoin. The other point to note, I suppose, is the old low there. That was around the 25,400 level. So let's see whether we close below 25,400 or stay below it ahead of a potential move sub 20,000. That could be done over the next couple of weeks given the current rate of decline. You can also see the way that we have both the 50 and 200-day moving averages both falling rapidly. The 200-day line there at 40,000. 50-day line at 31,900. So the giveaway in terms of the move to the downside that we've had over the last couple of months is the way that we had that brief bull trap through the 50-day line back in April, and then since then any rallies have all failed to get anywhere near the 50-day line. And that is a telltale sign in a bearish situation. Next up is Ethereum, which is looking no less happy at the moment. Here we had its final support line there around $1,645 and breaking that RSI line there over the last 2-3 days. But below 1650 or the 1650 area, the risk of a move to the floor of that falling trend channel from back in March as low as 10,000 and 1,050 rather. 10,000 would be very nice. 1,050, and maybe that could be seen before the end of this month. RSI very oversold now, so that's around the 20 level, but that doesn't mean that we could not have at least a brief probe towards the $1,000 area ahead of any dead cat bounce for this market. Once again, we have the clues to the downside, i.e. the failures to get back above the 50-day moving average in April and May, and then quite a sort of clear space there between the 50-day line and the price action over the course of the initial part of June. So the risk there down to 1050 while we're below the 1650 area. Next market is Binance, which I will just access now. Here you can see that we've got that sort of rounded right shoulder there. We broke the support line that we were hoping that would hold around $260. Now well below that. Probably a retest of the old May floor there at around the 205 level, the next destination. If we can't hold that, then we could be heading as low as the $150 area, which is the floor of that falling February price channel, in fact. So 150 maybe by the end of next month if this market goes into free fall. Not a bit too early to suggest it'll do that now, but certainly the longer we stay below 205, the greater the chance of 150 or so. The positive, I suppose, is that we are now deeply oversold, so the RSI around 23, so that does suggest that there could be some kind of positive reaction from around the old May support at 205, even if we then head back lower towards the $150 area by the end of next month. Moving along to Cardano, which has not, well, I suppose in a way is maybe looking slightly better than the other markets. No new low here, but still higher than the 42 cents area, which was the late May support. Looks as though the selling action is going for the bigger names in the crypto space rather than the smaller ones, at least first. We have that old low there from back in May. That was around the 40 cents area, so that's the initial target here. That also ties in, I suppose, with that support line there from back in September, just below it at 38. Worst case scenario at this stage, back down towards as low as 15 or 13 cents, which is the floor of that falling trend channel from back in March. But at the moment, looking for the 40 cents area really to help this market revive. RSI here much higher than the other markets we've looked at, so around the mid-30s. The only negative about that is it does allow this market leeway to go lower because it is not so oversold. In terms of the upside, really a quick break of the 57 cents area, and the 50-day moving average is the only thing at this stage which looks as though it could save an ongoing break to the downside. Finishing off with Solana, and here you can see that probably more in the camp of Cardano at the moment, although we are much lower than we were back in May. The low then around $43, so we're well below that, and or rather $36, well below that. And the chance now is that the longer we stay below the $36 area, the greater the chance of a move down towards the $10 area and the floor of that March support line. In fact, here the downside looks perhaps more acute than it does in the other markets. That channel there heading very low indeed, even if you adjust it in a positive way. So chances of a low towards the $10 area can't be ruled out here, especially while we hold below the $36 area. Just in terms of the other markets, it's not necessarily all gloom and doom. If we do get a recovery there for Bitcoin back above that old low there at 25,400, then that would arrest the decline. So not completely in the sort of worst scenario yet, but obviously not looking good at this stage. That's it for me this week. Let's see if things improve a bit by next week.